Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that might just change your life. You don't become successful and then act like it. You act successful and then you become it. See, too many people are waiting for the change to happen before they move. Waiting for the money before they manage it. Waiting for the confidence before they speak up. Waiting for the opportunity before they prepare. That's not how transformation works. You've got to act like the person you want to be before the results show up. Now, I'm not talking about fake it till you make it. I'm talking about faith it till you manifest it. There's a difference. Faking is pretending. Faithing is becoming. If you want to be a leader, then speak like one. Show up early, serve others, study leadership, and walk with integrity. If you want to be wealthy, then stop thinking broke. Budget like a millionaire. Invest your time wisely. Stop seeing money as something evil and start seeing it as a tool to amplify your purpose. You don't need permission to upgrade your identity. You just need a decision. When you change your actions, you're telling your brain, this is who I am now. When you show up with excellence, you're not trying to be great. You're agreeing with the greatness God already put inside you. That version of you, the confident, focused, disciplined, powerful version, it's already in you. You're not building a new you from scratch. You're uncovering the you that was buried under fear, doubt, and excuses. Most people think they need to have something in order to do something, and then finally they'll become someone. But that formula is broken. The truth is, if you want real transformation in your life, you've got to flip that equation completely. You've got to become the person first internally before the world starts showing you results externally. This principle is powerful, and it starts with one simple truth. Identity comes before outcome. Everything you experience in life flows from your sense of identity. Not what you hope for, not what you dream about, not what you say when people are watching, but what you believe about yourself when no one else is around. If you see yourself as broke, you'll make broke decisions. If you see yourself as a failure, you'll avoid opportunities. If you see yourself as unworthy, you'll reject success when it comes knocking. That's how identity works. It silently controls everything you do. Now, this isn't about lying to yourself or pretending to be something you're not. It's about aligning with the truth of who you are meant to be. Most people think their circumstances define them, but circumstances are temporary. Identity is what's permanent. And if you want to shift your life, you've got to shift your identity first. Let's break it down with an example. If someone wants to get fit, but they still see themselves as a lazy person who hates the gym, how long do you think their motivation is going to last? Not very. Even if they force themselves to go for a week or two, their identity will sabotage their consistency. Why? Because behavior that's not in alignment with identity will always be temporary. But if that same person starts saying, I'm the kind of person who takes care of my body, or I'm committed to health and discipline, they're building a new identity. And once the identity shifts, the actions come easier. You don't have to fight so hard to make yourself do something when it's already who you are. See, identity is not formed by accident, it's formed by intention. Every time you take a small step in the direction of who you want to be, you're casting a vote for that future version of yourself. You don't become confident all at once. You build confidence every time you speak up. You don't become wealthy overnight. You build wealth every time you invest instead of waste. You don't become a leader when someone gives you a title. You become a leader when you start leading yourself. Here's the key. Stop waiting for the outcome to validate your identity. Start walking in it now. Start showing up like the person you want to be before the bank account changes, before the opportunity shows up, before the applause comes. Why? Because when your identity shifts, your standards shift. And when your standards shift, your results follow. So here's the challenge. Take your eyes off the outcome and focus on the identity. Who do you need to become to have the life you want? Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for proof. Step into that version now. Speak like them. move like them, think like them, not someday, because your future isn't waiting on the outcome. Your future is waiting on you to decide who you are. And once you do that, the rest will follow. Fake it till you make it is one of the most overused and misunderstood phrases in the personal growth world. It sounds cute. It sounds clever. But in reality, faking it is just pretending. It's wearing a mask, hoping no one sees through the cracks. It's trying to look like something on the outside without becoming it on the inside. It's why faking it never lasts. It's built on fear and insecurity. It's a temporary cover-up, not a permanent shift. If you want true transformation, you don't fake it, you faith it. Faith is completely different from faking. Faking is rooted in fear of being found out. Faith is rooted in belief of what will be revealed. Faking tries to impress. Faith prepares to grow. Faking is surface level. Faith is soul level. Faith sees what is not yet visible and moves in alignment with it anyway. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That means you may not see the results yet, but you move like they're already on the way. When you walk in faith, you're not lying to yourself. You're speaking to your future self. You're making decisions today that agree with who you're becoming. Faith doesn't deny reality, but it refuses to be limited by it. You can acknowledge the facts without letting them define your future. Maybe you're struggling financially right now. Maybe you're insecure. Maybe you're unsure of how it's all going to work. That's okay. Faith doesn't require perfection. Faith just requires movement. It says, I'm not there yet, but I'm walking like it's already mine. People who walk in faith show up with a different energy. They walk in rooms they've never been in before and carry themselves like they belong, not out of ego, but out of knowing who they are becoming. They take risks that don't make sense on paper because they're not waiting for guarantees. They're trusting in purpose. They invest in their growth. They show up consistently. They serve when nobody's watching. That's faith. That's how change really happens. The problem with faking it is it keeps you focused on looking the part instead of living the part. You get so caught up in appearances that you never build the internal substance it takes to sustain real success. You'll start chasing validation instead of transformation. You want the applause without earning the authority. And when pressure hits, and it always does, the mask cracks. Because you can't hold up a lie forever. But faith grows under pressure. Faith doesn't fall apart in hard times. It digs deeper. When you faith it, you allow the process to shape you. You might not have the title yet, but you act with integrity. You might not have the audience yet, but you speak with clarity. You might not have the income yet, but you steward your resources like someone who respects abundance. That's faith in action. It's not about pretending to be rich or successful or confident. It's about building the habits, the mindset, and the heart of the person who can handle what's coming. And let's be honest, faith takes courage. It's scary to believe in something you can't see. It's uncomfortable to step out before the path is fully visible, but that's where growth happens. Every version of you that's better than the current one is going to feel unfamiliar at first. Faith gives you the courage to walk anyway. You'll feel like an imposter if you're faking. But if you're moving in faith, that feeling of discomfort is a sign that you're stretching into who you're meant to be. So stop trying to impress people. Stop performing for validation. You don't need to act like you have it all together. You just need to believe that you're becoming the person who will, and then move in that belief day after day, decision after decision. That's not faking it. Because when you walk in faith, you're not living from your current situation. You're living from your future vision. You're not being driven by what you see around you. You're being guided by what you know inside you. That's the power of faith over faking. Faking is hollow. Faith is substance. Faking is temporary. Faith builds legacy. So don't fake it. Fake it until it's finished. Everybody wants the promotion, but not everyone is willing to prepare for it. We live in a culture that craves instant results, overnight success, viral moments, fast money. But here's the truth. Real promotion never comes before preparation. If you get elevated before you're equipped, the very thing that was meant to bless you can break you. That's why preparation isn't optional, it's essential. It's not a delay, it's a divine setup. Rise to the level of your potential, you fall to the level of your preparation. You can dream big, visualize your goals, speak affirmations, but if your habits, skills, and mindset haven't been trained to carry what you're asking for, you'll crumble under the pressure of what you thought you were ready for. Promotion is not just about being seen, it's about being strong enough to sustain what you've been given. Preparation happens in the places nobody claps for. It's the work done in private, the hours studying when nobody's asking you for advice, the discipline of saving money before you have much, the consistency of serving when nobody's acknowledging your effort. That's the place where leaders are built. That's where character is forged. The spotlight doesn't make you. It exposes what's already there. You don't prepare when the opportunity shows up, you prepare before it comes. When a door opens, it's too late to get ready. You've got to be ready to walk through it. Think about it. If you were called to speak on a global stage tomorrow, would you have something powerful to say? If someone wrote you a check to start your dream business, would you know what to do with it? If your breakthrough came today, would you have the structure to sustain it, or would it slip through your fingers? Many people pray for promotion but reject the process. But the process is what proves your readiness. It's not punishment, it's preparation. The challenges you're facing, the people you're dealing with, the seasons of waiting, they're not in the way, they are the way. Every setback is training, every delay is development, every unseen hour is sharpening you for the stage that's coming. Look at any great success story, and behind it, you'll see years of work that no one saw. The business that exploded overnight was being built for a decade. The speaker that captivated an audience practiced thousands of hours when nobody was clapping. The athlete who broke records trained in silence while others were sleeping. That's the price of promotion. Preparation, and let's be clear, preparation isn't just about skill. It's about mindset, it's about emotional maturity, it's about learning how to lead when things go wrong, not just when everything is going right. It's about developing the humility to grow and the resilience to keep going. It's about learning to obey in obscurity so you don't fall apart in the spotlight. If you shortcut preparation, you sabotage promotion. You might get there faster, but you won't stay long. Because platforms expose what private places build. If you haven't built integrity, the pressure of leadership will break you. If you haven't mastered discipline, the freedom success brings will become chaos. If you haven't faced rejection, the criticism that comes with influence will crush you. But if you embrace preparation, if you dig deep, stay consistent, and grow when no one's watching, then when the door opens, you won't shrink back in fear. You'll walk in with authority. You'll be able to carry what you're called to handle because you didn't just get lucky, you got ready. So don't despise the season you're in. Don't rush the process. Don't get bitter because it hasn't happened yet. Instead, ask yourself, what is this season trying to teach me? What skills do I need to? Money is not just about numbers. It's about mindset. Most people struggle with money not because they're lazy or unintelligent, but because they have a belief system that keeps them stuck. If you want to experience financial growth, you don't just need better strategies. You need a better way of thinking. You have to shift your financial mindset because until your mind changes, your money won't. A poverty mindset will keep you broke even if you make more. Why? Because mindset drives behavior. You can earn 6 figures and still feel like you're drowning if your mindset is rooted in fear, scarcity, or guilt around money. If you believe money is evil, you'll push it away without even realizing it. If you believe money is hard to get, you'll subconsciously make sure that's true. If you believe you're not worthy of wealth, you'll sabotage every opportunity to grow it. Changing your financial life starts with changing what you believe about wealth, value, and your own potential. Money is a tool. It's not good or evil, it's neutral. It simply magnifies who you already are. If you're generous, money gives you the ability to give more. If you're a leader, money helps you lead better. If you're wise, money gives you greater impact. But if you carry a limited mindset, money will just expose that limitation on a bigger stage. You've got to stop seeing money as something you chase and start seeing it as something you attract through value. The world doesn't pay you for your time, it pays you for the value you bring in that time. That's a key mindset shift. Wealth is not just about working harder, it's about working smarter and increasing your capacity to solve problems. When you become a person of high value, income becomes a byproduct. So how do you start shifting your mindset? First, you must question the financial beliefs you've inherited. Most of our money beliefs come from our upbringing. Maybe you heard things like money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy, or we can't afford that. Those phrases might have seemed harmless, but they planted seeds in your subconscious. They created a lens through which you now see every financial decision. And if you don't confront them, you'll carry those same beliefs into every season of your life, even if your circumstances change. Start replacing those old beliefs with new truths. Instead of we can't afford that, say how can we create the income to afford that? Instead of money is hard to get, say money flows to me through service and value. Instead of rich people are greedy, say wealth allows good people to do great things. You have to speak differently if you want to think differently, and you have to think differently if you want to live differently. Another key shift is moving from a consumer mindset to a creator mindset. A consumer is always spending, always looking for the next thing to buy, the next feeling to satisfy. A creator looks at how to produce, serve, build, and multiply. A consumer waits to receive. A creator finds ways to generate. If you want financial freedom, you must become a producer of value, not just a consumer of products. Also, learn to respect money. That means manage it wisely, whether you have a little or a lot. If you don't respect $100, 0 cents, you won't respect $10, 0 cents. Budgeting isn't about restriction, it's about stewardship. Investing isn't about gambling, it's about planting. Saving isn't fear, it's wisdom. Don't let poor money habits hide behind excuses. Be honest with where you are, then commit to growing better. One more shift, stop thinking about money in terms of lack and start thinking in terms of abundance. There's not a shortage of money in the world. There's a shortage of people who believe they're allowed to have it and equipped to manage it. Don't apologize for wanting to prosper. Don't feel guilty for desiring. Success doesn't happen by accident. Growth doesn't show up just because you want it. And greatness isn't achieved by people who only act when they feel like it. If you want to create a life of meaning, impact, and abundance, you must learn to live with purposeful discipline. That means your decisions aren't driven by mood, they're driven by mission. You don't wake up and hope for excellence, you decide to show up, even when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, or unsafe. Discipline isn't punishment, it's power. It's the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Most people think motivation is what creates results, but motivation fades. Discipline, on the other hand, keeps going when the feelings are gone. It's not sexy, it's not flashy, it's the quiet consistency of doing the right thing over and over again, even when no one is watching, even when no one is clapping. That's what builds strength. That's what builds success. To live with purposeful discipline is to tie your actions to something greater than comfort. It's not just about being good or productive. It's about aligning every part of your life with your purpose. Purpose gives discipline direction. Without purpose, discipline becomes rigid and joyless. But when you're clear on your why, discipline becomes a form of devotion. It becomes an act of self-respect, an expression of your commitment to the future version of yourself. Discipline isn't about perfection either. You will fall short. You will have off days. You will make mistakes. But purposeful discipline says, I don't quit because I missed a step. I get back up because I know where I'm going. That's the difference between people who drift and people who rise. Drifters are emotional. They live by how they feel. Disciplined people are intentional. They live by what they've decided. Every time you choose discipline, you're telling your future self, I've got your back. When you eat healthy instead of giving in to junk, when you study instead of scrolling, when you save money instead of spending impulsively, you are casting votes for the person you want to become. And those small choices, they compound. Purposeful discipline isn't about big heroic efforts. It's about steady daily decisions that move you forward inch by inch, step by step. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is that it creates freedom. You don't rise to the next level by wishing for it, waiting for it, or even just working for it. You rise by becoming it. Elevation is not just about effort, it's about embodiment. Until you fully embody the next version of yourself, you'll always feel stuck in the gap between where you are and where you want to be. When your thoughts, actions, posture, and energy all align with the person you're becoming, life starts responding differently. That's because embodiment attracts elevation. People are always talking about goals, what they want, where they're headed, what success looks like. But the missing piece is this. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. The world responds to your frequency, your presence, your self-concept. So if you want more, you have to become more. If you want to be respected, embody confidence. If you want opportunities, embody readiness. If you want wealth, embody abundance. You can't skip embodiment and expect elevation. Embodiment isn't pretending. It's not about faking it or putting on a performance. It's about stepping fully into the identity of the person you're called to be. It's when you stop hoping for change and start living as if it's already real. That doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're intentional. You walk like it. You speak like it. You move like it. Not just when people are watching, but all the time. That's where the shift happens. You move from someday language to now energy. You stop saying, I'm trying, and start saying, I am. You stop waiting for permission and start owning the room. And that ownership of your vision, your value, your voice, that's what draws elevation into your life. People respond differently when you've already become the thing you're chasing. Embodiment is internal first. Before the income, before the recognition, before the breakthrough, you carry it on the inside. You decide, I am worthy, I am disciplined, I am valuable, I am capable. That internal alignment starts creating external shifts. You'll see new doors open. You'll notice new people showing up. You'll step into spaces that used to intimidate you with calm and clarity. Why? Because you're not trying to become anymore, you are. But let's be real. Embodiment takes courage. It's easy to say, I'll show up like that when I have the results. It's harder to show up like that before the results come. But that's where the transformation lives. You don't get confidence first and then take action. You take action first and build confidence in the process. You don't wait to feel ready. You decide that you are. And every time you embody that decision, you grow into it a little more. This is why personal standards matter. Elevation doesn't just happen because you want it. It happens when your daily choices match your future identity. How do you talk to yourself? How do you carry yourself? How do you treat your body, your time, your money? All of that is part of embodiment. If your vision is big, your standards have to rise to match it. You don't get to elevate your life and keep the same habits. You don't get next level outcomes with old level thinking. Embodiment also means aligning your energy with what you desire. You can't walk around drained, doubtful, and distracted and expect abundance to find you. You have to learn how to regulate your energy, protect your peace, and command your space. This doesn't mean being loud or aggressive. It means being anchored. It means walking with a quiet strength that says, I belong here, not out of ego, but out of alignment. The truth is, elevation isn't about luck. It's about readiness. And readiness isn't just about skill, it's about state. When you are the thing comes looking for you. You stop chasing and you start attracting. That's the power of embodiment. It's not about proving yourself. It's about being yourself fully, unapologetically, consistently. So stop asking for the next level. Start becoming the next level. Speak like it, walk like it, work like it, think like it, and watch how life rises to meet you. Because when you embody your purpose, your power, and your potential, elevation becomes inevitable.